Je me demande, est-ce que vous sentez que c'est réellement une priorité pour l'Agence des services frontaliers de trouver des solutions ou de mettre des ressources pour contrer le fléau des vols de voitures au pays? Ce qui a circulé dans les médias à partir d'octobre 2023, c'est qu'il y avait seulement 5 agents au port de Montréal pour inspecter les conteneurs. Sentez-vous que c'est une priorité pour l'Agence des services frontaliers?
Thank you. I think the CBSA has a very difficult job on its hands balancing priorities when you look at some of what is being imported into Canada that we obviously want to keep out, and given the staffing constraints that they do have. Those numbers that you just provided of 5 full-time officers is still 5 full-time officers. We have 3 officers on assignment as well that have been there for some time. We're talking 8 total. When I talk about staffing levels, we're short between 2,000 and 3,000 across the country. You have ports operating with half the amount of officers that they had only 10 years ago. And we don't see those numbers going up. We only have 1 college. We cannot graduate or train even up to 600 new officers per year, which isn't even covering attrition. So we're having a really hard time, and when I say that we're desperately understaffed, we are desperately understaffed. At the Port of Montreal specifically, other than the staffing, the big issue is space. The facility in which we do the examinations has 6 parking spots. Once we find 6 stolen vehicles, we sometimes have to wait days for someone to come and take the vehicles away before we can inspect anymore. With the officers working, we're looking at examining a maximum of about 4 containers a day, which could potentially hold 8 cars. We're really limited in terms of the space that's being allotted to exports, and understand that that facility is also where imports are examined. So it's not only not having enough people, even if we wanted to expand it and add additional officers at the Port of Montreal specifically, there's really nowhere for them to do more examinations than they're currently doing.
On entend les sommes qui ont été investies ou qui seront investies par le gouvernement. On dirait que magiquement, on pense qu'il y aura plus d'agents des services frontaliers puis que tout le problème va être réglé, mais dans les faits, ce que vous dites, c'est qu'il y a un manque d'équipement, clairement, un manque d'espace aussi. Mais c'est intéressant parce que j'entendais les collègues du Parti conservateur dire c'est assez facile. Nous, la solution qu'on propose, c'est achetons 24 scanners qui nous permettraient d'inspecter 154 conteneurs à l'heure, ce qui nous permettrait d'inspecter 1 million de conteneurs par année, alors que dans les faits, il y a peut-être quoi entre allons-y largement, entre 500 000 et 800 000 conteneurs qui sortent du port de Montréal par année. Est-ce qu'on a sorti ces chiffres-là d'un chapeau? Est-ce que c'est réaliste de penser qu'avec 24 scanners, et on parlait, le Parti conservateur parlait de 75 nouveaux agents, dont une trentaine au port de Montréal, que là, on pourrait régler le problème puis tout scanner ce qui ressort. Est-ce que c'est réaliste? Parce qu'il faut dire qu'il y a aussi des voitures qui peuvent se retrouver dans des conteneurs qui ne sont pas nécessairement volés et qui sont destinés à l'exportation. Alors, comment on fait pour démêler tout ça puis proposer des solutions qui sont sérieuses?
So given what's in place now, it would not be realistic to be able to do that volume of examinations. That being said, I mean, any investment in infrastructure, if there were space to go along with it, if there were additional officers and we were able to actually use the equipment, absolutely. Anything is helpful. We understand how important stolen vehicles and exports are. As I said earlier, the CBSA tends to focus mostly on imports. We can understand why, given some of what's coming into the country that we want to keep out. And again, the staff just simply isn't there. You can throw money at the problem and add equipment. Overall, we're essentially trying to fill 100 holes with 50 pegs all the time, right? And until we get our staffing levels up to what they need to be, it's really going to be an uphill climb. And at the Port of Montreal specifically, we also need the space to do the work. It's an additional challenge there.